Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I've painted this beautiful abstract lilac flowers in gouache. I'm going to use this HIMI, HIMI gouache colors that you probably have seen all over YouTube. I have seen them myself the first time, I think when I was watching one of the Lindsay's reviews, the Frugal Crafter. You probably all know her. And I was looking at the time for some gouache set just to try it out, because usually I'm painting with watercolors, but I mean, who wouldn't mind exploring new things? So I checked out this set on Amazon and the price was very affordable, so I decided to order it because, you know, plenty of colors. I don't really like mixing when it comes to gouache, so I decided to go with it. And I have been quite happy so far, but I'm not an expert in gouache, so I might be very wrong, but I quite enjoy using these paints, and I think for many people it would be more than good enough if you just want to play around with colors and have fun and do something else than painting with the media that you're usually using. So anyway, I'm starting with mixing up this lilac lavender color and just applying it randomly in the shape of the flowers of lilac all over the canvas, just not really planning anything out, just putting it where I feel like. The only thing which I'm trying to do is to change the tone of the color, so it's not the same color everywhere, but you know, somewhere it's lighter, somewhere it's darker. For some flowers I'm adding some of the pinks, and then I just keep going till I'm happy with what I see. And then I'm switching to the sky, and I was just thinking about, you know, this beautiful May sky when finally gets warm, and it's just so bright that you cannot believe it because you have forgotten how the bright sky looks over the winter. So anyway, I decided to go with this bright blue color, and it's more intense at the top, and towards the bottom I tried to make it lighter, and I think it's going to work out in the end. And this gouache ability, I don't know if it's ability or not ability, that the dark colors they dry lighter and the light colors they dry darker, I'm not quite used to it. So right now it might look like it's not really coming together and the sky is way too bright and doesn't look natural, but when it dries it actually looks quite okay. Anyway, I just keep painting till I'm happy with the result, because there are gonna be many layers in this painting, and I actually painted it over the course of a few days simply because it was just, you know, a fun project, and I really wanted to play around and actually figure out how to paint the lilac with gouache, because it's not something what I've done before, so that was really fun. Anyway, then I was trying to define the actual flowers a little bit, and that wasn't an easy process. I'm going to zoom in now a little bit so that you can see what I was actually doing. And what I was painting is actually circles with two crossing lines to show the buds, or something what might look like buds, and just the usual lilac flowers with 4 or 5 petals, or whatever lilac you're imagining right now in your head. So that took me a long time to do that one. Though I still very enjoyed the process, but it wasn't entirely the way I wanted to do the rest of the flowers. I didn't want it to be too detailed, you know, I just wanted to convey this feeling of lilac and of May, of warmth, of spring, of flowers, you know, not just, you know, being photorealistic or even close to real life. I just wanted it to be fun and pleasant to look at, something what I could hang up in my living room. Well, anyway, here I'm starting to fill in the dark shadows between the flowers, and then I'll be adding up some highlights with a much lighter color of gouache, and then going back and forwards till I'm happy with how it looks and that the contrast is good enough. I will just turn up some music in here so that you could enjoy it without me rambling all the time. finally the first flower was done. When I moved to other flowers, I didn't want them to be so detailed, nor did I want to spend that much time on them, so I have simplified the process significantly. I just loosely defined the shape of the flowers and then filled in the darks, and then where needed I added up the highlights, and then I did the same for the rest of the flowers. And here I just wanted to blur out the contour a little bit because it looked too precise, too pristine, and this is not exactly the look that I was going for. So I just took my brush with a little bit of paint on it, but actually mostly water, and then I just went around the flowers and the buds and tried to smudge them a little bit so that this flower, this first flower, didn't stand out that much from the rest. And then I have decided to add some darker flowers in the background because I felt like everything was mixing a little bit too much together and it was difficult to see where one flower starts and another one ends. And even though I didn't want it to be rather abstract, but I still wanted to be clear defined, you know, those buds of lilac that you think of when you think about flowers. And here I have decided to add some clouds to the sky and just to play around because, I mean, the most important is to have fun when you're painting, right? I mean, who cares if it's going to turn out really, really bad because you don't have to show it to anybody. Well, that's what I do. I don't show my paintings to anybody till they're done. And if they're really, really bad, then nobody knows. So, I'm fine with it. But to be honest, I just don't really care. I just think it is just so much fun to paint and play around with paints and colors and shapes and effects. I mean, what could be better, right? And here I have decided to add some contours because I had a feeling that something was missing in the painting, some type of contrast. But now that I'm looking at it, I think that it probably wasn't needed, so you can definitely skip this step. But anyway, maybe it's just my lack of experience with gouache. It is really difficult for me to get used to how it changes when it dries. It's so very different from watercolors or acrylics, right? Just do what you want to do and have fun, because here I just continue to add colors here and there and thinking what else could add this depth, this life to the painting. But just like I said, I didn't need it to be precise. I just wanted it to be nice to look at and to think about spring when I look at it, and it gave me that feeling, so that was what was most important for me. And maybe you will want to convey a different type of feeling, and then you will choose maybe different colors. Maybe it will be darker, maybe it will be lighter, maybe it will be blue, I mean, who knows. But anyway, right now it's almost finished and I'm just adding the final touches. I have put some white gouache at the ends of some of the flowers in the foreground and also in the background, and I think it added some freshness to the piece, which I really liked. And I just smoothed out the edges a little bit because somehow it looked a bit too harsh to me, but maybe I was just rushing a little bit too much and I shouldn't have done. Who knows? Anyway, you do what you want to do and what you think is best for your painting. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention that I'm painting it on Fabriano studio paper. I'm using it a lot for watercolors as well, and even though I don't enjoy it that much when I'm using it with watercolors, I actually think it is a very good paper if you want to just play around and practice and see how the paint behaves. And now I am done with the painting, so here's the final result, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And thank you so much for watching and for staying with me till the end. Please subscribe if you liked it, and see you in my next video. Thank you, bye!